Spanish is the peso de ocho reales, or it's a peso of 8 royals. It's all the classic irregularly shaped silver coins. It was common currency in the New World. It was actually common currency around the world. They're cool looking coins. Legitimate thing. That's what pretty much passed for money in most of the European colonies in the New World. They didn't use local currencies. It was Spanish money. Piece of 8. It's a cool coin.
Okay.
You can find plenty of them for sale from legitimate dealers on eBay.
Cool.
They'll advertise them as pirate money.
Oh, okay. So what was the age range of a typical crew?
Mostly pretty
from
young.
what
I'd say late teens, mid-20s.
Yeah, so that's what I've seen. Although when it comes to they were older, and when it comes to statistical outliers, I want to tell the story of John King. He was this, I forget the name of the ship he was on, but Bellamy attacked the ship he was on, and he was on it with his mother. And he saw these pirates raiding. He was like, wow, I want to be a pirate. This looks so cool. And he apparently threatened to kill himself if he couldn't be a pirate. And then his mom, begrudgingly had to let him go be a pirate. So he was legitimately part of, this 9-year-old kid was legitimately part of Bellamy's crew for, I think, a little over half a year until the Witta crashed. And he died in that crash.
I don't understand.
There's some accounts.
Society terrifies me.
Yeah, there's a few ship's boys. I know that a guy named Taylor was reportedly one of a pirate, late 17th century pirate named Bannister. He was hunted down, captured by the English Navy eventually, and the captain had orders to hang them, Bannister and any of his men that he captured, and so they hung them all inside of Port Royal. They came into harbor, but they hung up one, maybe 2 boys, and one of them reportedly became a pirate named Taylor. Yeah, they just hung them up by their waists from the yardarms. They weren't going to hang boys, but you do find some boys among the crews. That was common maritime crews anyways, instead of ship's boys. The oldest I've seen legitimate, I think, was probably an 80-year-old man named Swan. He was a buccaneer, 1670s, 1680s. He got killed on the Isthmus of Darien. He couldn't keep up, and Spaniards surrounded him, and he wouldn't surrender. So rather than engage this 80-year-old man in hand-to-hand combat, they just shot him down. That said, I know some 80-year-olds who'll kick your ass, too, so it might have been a smart thing to do.
Yeah, that's a badass way to go, though. That's at the age where I have a theory that there's a certain age you can get where you can get away with doing anything. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, or, you can go out in public and cause scenes, and if you're a certain age, it's just, oh, well, he's just an old age. So if I got to the point where I was in that age, I could go out on a pirate. That's the one time in my life I could be a pirate. I could not be a pirate in my 20s or 30s. I would not survive a day. But I feel like going out at like 90 as a pirate, wheel me down that plank. Wheel me down that plank.
Okay, so there's one more question in the comments before we get to super chats. What is your biggest problem with Pirates of the Caribbean series? And that's from Gage.
It's all of it.
All of it?
All of it. Yeah, I didn't like them.
Oh.
All right. For me, the first one's enjoyable. It was like the first Star Wars. I saw it. I was a senior in high school. I just graduated maybe when Star Wars came out. It was fun. It's an enjoyable diversion. Don't take it seriously. And the rest of them after that pretty much sucked. And I know I'm going to hear from haters about that now, but
I also only liked the first one.
I wouldn't take any of it seriously.
The first one was really good, and they just kind of went downhill from there. Although I think the apex of the rest of the movies was that fight scene at the end of the third movie with Jack and David Jones, like when they're on top of the masts. I think that was a pretty awesome scene.
I just love Johnny Depp as the pirate. Like, I love Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. Like, the rest of everything else, like, I just wish like he could just do that. Like, I would watch him on YouTube do that all the time. The character.
But when I see him, and I know he did a wonderful job playing the role, but when I see him, and then I think about these old SEAL Team Master Chiefs, these guys with 10, or 20, 30 years of service, these old Vietnam, crusty old veterans who've seen, things that I would never even have been able to see. And they remind me of these old Buccaneers I read. They would kick Jack Sparrow's ass in half a second if they even bothered to give him a second glance.
But he would come back. He's dead.
Yeah, I know. He gets spit out by
So is Dave doing super chats?
He's going to do that. But if I was Johnny Depp, I agree with Casey wholeheartedly. I would be Jack Sparrow. I would just transform into Jack Sparrow. And the only person that could get away with that, like where people would just be around him and not think twice about it, would be Johnny Depp. He's the one person that could actually transform into a pirate for the rest of his life and identify as a pirate. And nobody would question that. They'd be like, oh, well, that's just Johnny being Johnny.
Dude, Johnny Depp could do anything. He could transform into Edward Scissorhands and be Edward Scissorhands for the rest of his life, and it would be fine. Like, nobody gives a fuck. He could be Willy Wonka forever. Like, he's Johnny Depp. He can legit do anything.
He could be the Mad Hatter forever.
Would get messy.
Go
ahead, Dave.
Real.
Well, I got one more question that I think Casey missed because it wasn't tagged to her. It's from Ganesh Chandrasekaran. I forget how to say his last name.
Ganesh.
What's
up, Ganesh?
Ganesh, our friend. How was piracy different in different sea routes, i.e. the Atlantic versus Indian Ocean versus the Strait of Malacca? How much did they influence one another?
Yeah, was there like an East Coast pirates and a West Coast pirates? Did they have beef like Biggie and Tupac?
Like gangs of pirates?
That you're getting into a whole...
Captain Hook, who shot you?
Who shot you? You get into Lawrence's 500,000 word, 200 episode YouTube series here. I mean, it's if you just go into India and piracy and privateering in there, I mean, that's a subject that you could write volumes and volumes on, and there actually have been volumes on. It varies from culture to epoch to. I mean, that's a really good question, but it's
a can of worms, crushed.
Difficult.
So
yeah, that's a big.
The only thing that really comes to mind for me is during antiquity, they would generally stay along the coast because that was how they didn't get lost. That was the best way to do that. So pirates would, be on like some island somewhere, but then they would patrol the coast that they knew shipping ships merchant ships would be going along, and it was generally near the coast. So that was kind of their prime location, at least in the Mediterranean. But when it comes to piracy outside of that, I mean, they all had, various routes, depending on, where you want it. Like Bennerson said, depending on where you want to go and the era, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject, just looking at the history of piracy. You can tie it into world history, and you can go into any culture you want. Basically, if it was a maritime culture, there were pirates involved, and I mean, it's a good excuse and it's a good way to study history from. At least it's not as dry as looking at history conventionally.
Yeah. Dave is getting ready to read the super chats, and before we do, Casey, I'm just got to say I'm a little offended that you didn't ask me who I consider to be the most notorious pirate.
Oh, well, I mean, it wasn't my question. It was somebody else's question. So, Kyle, who do you think the most notorious pirate is?
Napster, duh.
LimeWire.
Close second.
Bear share.
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, super chats from Damaged Dolly, $2. Welcome back. Thank you very much, Damaged Dolly. From Jemmy Sislow. Jemmy Sislow for $19.99. Why? Because a penny counts, I guess. When asked why the pirate keeps getting his ship steering wheel stuck in his pants, he said, "It drives me nuts." Glad to have you guys back.
Nice, Jammy. Thank you.
I've heard
it's
better.
Good to be back. We've missed you.
It's Jammy. You got to go. He's always got to be joking. $2 from Steve McRae. Stormseeker with Patty Gurdy. Pirate Metal.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it.
Who's
Steve McRae?
I knew he was going to bring up the pirate metal. I can feel it.
Patty Gurdy, is that what he said? I didn't get that.
Yeah, Stormseeker. The song Stormseeker with Patty Gurdy. He said it's pirate metal, basically.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look. There are very few pirate metal bands, at least. There's Hailstorm, and I guess you could count Flogging Molly, maybe. And
Lawrence,
then,
if you want to bond with somebody over pirate metal, like I said, I didn't even know that was really a thing. But if there's somebody that you want to bond with over pirate metal, Steve McRae is the one to talk to. He is a huge pirate metal fan.
Good stuff.
Are you fucking
I
with
fucking
me?
love
Like, are you fucking
metal.
with them?
No.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Steve is really big into pirate metal. Steve's actually the person that introduced it to me. I didn't know it was a thing until Steve showed me that video.
I didn't know it was a thing until tonight.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I haven't considered Flogging Molly as pirate metal, but I guess it works. I introduced my younger grown-up daughter years ago to Flogging Molly. It's all their concerts now whenever she can.
Yeah, I do the same thing with Hailstorm. Hailstorm is just so amazing to me.
All right. So,
okay, you have more super chats?
We got three more. We got 0132132 for $6.66 as usual. I missed you, glorious bastards. Glad the show is back. I plan to continue wasting a lot of time here. Wink.
We missed you as well, sir.
Yes. S106 IDEA. I don't even know how to say that. What the heck does that mean? But anyway, $10. So happy to see that my favorite, quote, discount garden gnome live feed, end quote, is back up and streaming. I also enjoyed seeing the eye patch, Kyle. Good to have you guys back from a one-eyed compatriot.
Well, we had to bring up the old gnome, did we? That's okay.
Yes.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
I found out some information about you. I'm coming.
And Uncle
thank you
Ned
very
for
much.
$2, Australian. Glad to
Uncle
have
Ned.
you all back. Yes, Uncle Ned.
Thank you, Uncle Ned. Uncle Ned will be back with us. We had to rearrange when he's going to pop in, but he'll be popping in for a Smoking Nun session. We were going to have him actually do last Friday, but we got banned, so that didn't happen. But now that we're back, we will get Uncle Ned back in his exuberant lights. So,
Awesome.
Good deal. Okay, we're going to give you guys the last words. Actually, I'm going to give KC the last words. She can. I always do this to her, but I think it's funny, so I'm going to keep doing it to her.
Casey, he doesn't hate it. That's why he keeps doing it.
Give us your before we close out. Give us your words, the one phrase or quote that you would want all people to live by or to follow. Whatever your favorite quote is, we'll end on that. But Mr. Little and Lawrence, I'm going to let you guys take this opportunity to plug anything that you want. Your channels. I know you got a book on the myths of the pirates that I heard about earlier. So take this time and let people know where they can find out more information about you and follow you on social media, all that kind of stuff. Lawrence, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So my channel is Milwaukee Atheists. We do a lot of stuff, as you could probably tell from me being here. We do stuff on piracy. We mostly do stuff on like philosophy and the history of religion. A lot of in-depth dives into biblical scholarship because I think it's really interesting. I'm currently writing a book called Of Heathens and Heresy about the effect of ancient religions on Christianity, and that's probably going to take me a long.
One of those, by the way.
All right, it's probably going to take me a long ass time to write. Okay, no problem. But obviously, can find me on Twitter at MKE Atheists and Facebook Milwaukee Atheists. We also